Which of the following alkyl halides would react the fastest in an E2 reaction? So an E2 reaction is our bimolecular elimination reaction. And so if we want to determine which of the following alkyl halides would react the fastest, we need to think about the reaction mechanism. And so what we have in a bimolecular elimination is we have a leaving group X, a halide in this case, and we have a hydrogen that is also being eliminated. And this reaction is caused by a reaction with a base. So I'm just going to use B- to indicate a base. And so what happens in this E2 reaction, we said it's bimolecular. That means it takes place all in one step. The base abstracts the hydrogen. The electrons from the carbon-hydrogen bond swing in to form a pi bond, and the bond to the leaving group, the halogen, leaves. And this gives us as a product an alkene. And so if we are looking for the alkyl halide that reacts the fastest, what we're looking for here is the lowest activation energy barrier, or EA. And since we have only one step in this reaction, in between here, you're going to have a transition state where so I'm going to use the square brackets for a transition state, where the base has a partial bond to the hydrogen, and the bond between the hydrogen and the carbon is partially broken. The sigma bond there is intact, so I'm going to draw a line to represent that sigma bond, and we are forming a pi bond, and the bond to the leaving group X is breaking. And so that's the way that we indicate a transition state. And so the lowest activation energy barrier is going to have the lowest energy transition state. And since this transition state is a partially formed alkene, that means we're looking for the most stable alkene that can form. And so typically for an E2 reaction, this generally means that tertiary alkyl halides react faster than secondary, which react faster than primary. The reason being that if you have a tertiary alkyl halide, you can form a more substituted alkene. And so we have a tertiary alkyl halide for A primary alkyl halide for B, another tertiary alkyl halide for C, and secondary for D. So we're going to cross off these primary and secondary and take a look at what's different between our two tertiary systems. And we see the structures are identical except for the leaving group. And iodine is a better leaving group than chlorine. And so this will be the alkyl halide that reacts the fastest.